the god of big things, the god of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar.
Welcome to CNB. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Partnkar, coming to you this week from the debut of the all-new 6th generation BMW 3 Series. Now, that's a significant car for our market. This is not the new generation, that's the 3rd generation car. The 2nd generation car, which by the way was one of our correct answers for our BMW Contest as well. The generation which saw the introduction of diesel to the 3 Series lineup. This is part of some of the display here. We're getting a chance to also imbibe just the kind of history that this model has actually come through. I mean, that's one of the reasons why it's such an iconic car the world over. We'll take you through all of that, but we have to start with the Made in India 3 Series. Car is here. It's been assembled in Chennai. We have all the details, prices, the variants. Here is everything you want to know. So we showed you the new 6th generation 3 Series way back when the new year began. Sure, it takes time to do a right-hand drive version, put a production plan in place for a new market, and devise a generation changeover strategy for that market too. BMW has now done all that, and it's ready to serve us the new 3 Series. Now, first things first, the basic premise I carried into that drive in Barcelona 7 months ago was that the previous 3 Series was damn near the best it could get. So, how in the world could BMW improve on something that good? Well, opinion is divided on this, but after that drive I concluded that BMW did improve on the old car. And now it is here, made in India, or assembled here anyway. We are getting 2 engines and just a few variants. The petrol is to be available only in the 328i Sport line, which means it's packed with a fair number of goodies, has the largest 18-inch alloys in the pack, and is the only option for petrol heads, and is very sporty. The diesel is only the 320d. Besides the base 320d, you can move up with the 320d Sport line, the 320d Luxury line, and the Luxury Plus. The entire range of 5 variants is available with all safety features standard, and a choice of 7 colors, which includes that gorgeous Melbourne red, thank God. So BMW is playing it smart with more diesels, but I have to add here that the modern trim line, which I showed you on the diesel in Barcelona, well, that ain't coming here at all. So given that BMW is playing it smart with the diesel trump card, I decided it makes sense to once again spend more time with the 320d. And yes, this one is the Luxury Plus. The car is every bit a BMW and yet not as stiff. There aren't many changes besides suspension settings, increased ground clearance and a slight engine retune for India. And yes, start-stop to save fuel is also standard on all 3 Series as part of the efficient dynamics on board. It's a gem of an engine. The performance, of course, is something that we've spoken about in the past, and there's no doubt about the fact that the 320d will end up being the most popular variant, the most popular model really for BMW as far as sales are concerned. Now, the only little grouse I have is that to try and keep it different from the previous 320d, what could have been done is the addition of paddle shifts. Yes, I know diesel's paddle shift doesn't always go, but it's a little gimmick perhaps that could have worked for buyers here in India. The gearbox otherwise is a lot of fun. The 320d's engine is noisy though, and you can hear it very clearly inside the cabin, which is surprising. In start-stop city traffic, the diesel's lag does get a touch annoying, but for the most part the engine is sheer joy. It's the one we've showed you the specs for before, but hey, a refresher never hurt anyone, now did it? The 8-speed auto gearbox is standard for the entire lineup except the 328i petrol, which gets the 8-speed sport automatic with variable sport steering too. The idea being to keep the 2 fuel variants very different in character and appeal. And you do get the paddle shift on the 328i. So it's fun, fast, responsive and has a great ride character. Its handling will also impress. Though unlike the previous three, the car doesn't feel as compact and drives a bit more like the 5 Series, which for some buyers may not necessarily be a good thing. Well, of course it's going to feel different. The car is 93mm longer, it's got a wider track too, and yet it's managed to get 40 kgs lighter than the 5th generation. What about comfort? Well, they have taken care of that too, with the cabin being roomier, airier, and yes, the back seat a bit more comfortable than the old cars. There are AC vents in the back. In front, it's the latest iDrive and all the carryovers from the 5 Series, including the smarter instrument cluster and trip computer. You can also adjust the car's character to go from comfort to sport to even an Eco Pro mode that helps make the car greener. I was on sport for most of my drive. I suspect most desi buyers though will stay on comfort. So you're not going to get the modern trim, just 2 trim lines, luxury which is beige, lots of wood, and sport trim which is black with all the metal. Perhaps logical from BMW because that's what most Indian buyers would have ended up buying anyway, but it would be nice to have that modern trim with the nice light accents and very European looks. Alright, let's get past that. Everything else that is here you have seen on the show before, so I'm not going to dwell on the interiors. You do have optional navigation that you can bring in on this car. You need to opt for it, not standard equipment, but that's a nice touch. Now, the other thing that BMW has been playing with is the iPhone. What you can do is get onto the iPhone App Store and simply download a free BMW connected app. What that gives you is a whole lot of fun access to your car. So let's assume that I've already got the app, which I have, and the phone's always plugged in when I'm driving or when I'm in the car. When I walk away, I still have the updated information. So if I forget that, hey, do I need to refuel on my way home, or do I need to worry about how far the car will go on the fuel that's remaining? All of that is right here. So the little trip computer information at a touch of a little button on the screen. Now, having said that, that's not all that this can do. There's also the BMW apps. So if I go into the BMW apps, it gives me access to web radio, to of course the latest news, Twitter, Facebook, and also some information from my navigation system. All of that gets updated here on the phone, and when I get back to the car, I could have pre-saved or pre-typed certain updates for my friends on Facebook or for people on Twitter, and all I need to do is then plug the phone back in using the iPhone USB connector. Alright, so that's in there, it's tucked away, and as I am out on the road, go into the menu on the screen here in the iDrive, go to Connected Drive, and there you go. There's lots of information. I can go into BMW Mobile Care, it hooks me up to the internet. There's also a hotline in case I have a problem with my car. All of this is happening through the phone's 3G network, and also works on 2G, I might add. Then you have the BMW apps. There's news, Facebook, Twitter, pretty much the same list as you saw on the phone screen. If I go into let's say Facebook, I can quickly just access some of the pre-typed in or the pre here it comes. It's just transferring the data from my phone. Alright, there you go. So it tells me firstly what my friends are saying. All the latest updates from them are available to me. So the news feed from Facebook comes up, and I can also get into typing my own status message. Remember, best way to do all of this is when the car is static. It won't let you do it otherwise. That's a safer way to do it. And these are some of the sort of preset messages that are in here already. And I picked this one saying I'm on my way to New Delhi with 42 kilometers to go, because right now we are shooting outside of New Delhi and I'm going to head back to my office. That information is already loaded into the navigation system. So all I need to do is just quickly post that to Facebook. It says posting, and yeah, all my friends will know that I have 42 kilometers to go. And you can do, of course, a whole lot more as well. Go ahead, pre-type, pre-save some of your messages when you're not on the move, when you're outside the car. When you come back, the car will post it for you. Now it's another matter altogether that I may not care to tell my friends where I'm going, or what song I'm listening to, or anything at all. But in case I did, I can do that. I can also browse through their posts or tweets and like or retweet something while I'm stuck in traffic or waiting at a long traffic signal. Now one almost assumes that when any of the three Germans launch a new generation product, because they stagger their launches, the latest, regardless of what model it is, but the latest generation is always going to be the best in class, because, you know, they're obviously going to try and improve on what's already in the market. Having said that, I do feel, having spent a lot of time with this car and really having tested the different variants, different engines as well, that this is the best in its class now. Sure, some of you will cry bloody murder. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class will seem dated and compact by comparison. The recently facelifted Audi A4 is strong on space and ride comfort, and also maybe the glitzy looks, but the overall package and drivability has the Beamer way ahead. And yes, ahead too of the Volvo S60 and anything else. In short, the BMW 3 Series is once again the segment benchmark. So it's looking like quite a formidable package, and before anything else, here's a quick look at the prices as well. Now, there was an expectation that, like every new generation, the prices would go up significantly. They haven't gone up significantly, at least, and of course there is that attractive sub 30 lakh variant as well, which is the base 320D. Bookings for all variants are open right away, we're told, but of course the sales and deliveries for the 320D, the base version, will only begin in the second half of August. Now, that's not the only information you are looking for. You also want to know who has won the CNB BMW contest, right? Well, guess what? We're not just going to announce the names, we're also going to introduce you to the winners. They're right here with me. And so we got Arjun,
Hi.
Viraj,
Hi, sir.
and Krunal.
Excited.
All of them right here with us on the program today. And remember, part of the prize really was the opportunity to also come in here and witness the launch of this car here in the market. And so very unusual really to have non-press people at a launch. So excited?
Of course, we did it. Very much.
Yeah, and you know, you've been here, you've seen the cars on display, everybody talking about them, all the information about them. What's the big takeaway? Let me start with you.
Big takeaway. First of all, I would say being such an auto enthusiast and looking at a press conference and meeting people like you and of course such a beautiful cars in front of us, it was a tremendous, wonderful experience.
Yeah, what about you, Viraj?
First time at launch, but just great to be here. It's too much fun. You know, and witnessing this so closely.
And you've been a 3 Series owner as well, right?
I've driven
So for
the
you,
previous
like a
3 Series. There's a connect, and after looking at the stunning red here, I think it's more or less done. The next car is going to be the 3 Series.
All right. What about you?
I am very excited. This is the first place wherein I've been coming for a launch and all. And the thing was like meeting Siddharth, red BMW, black BMW, thrilling.
Great. I'm glad you're all excited. And the further excitement for all of this, of course, is going to be the trip to the BMW headquarters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I think we're all going to have quite an experience. Trust me, the 4-cylinder building in itself, just looking at it, it's going to be great fun. And the other thing, by the way, that we have to remember here is that we had thousands and thousands of entries.
Yes.
So all of you are really lucky. Congratulations from all of us at CNB as well. And yeah, so we've got plenty to look forward to. Before anything else, though, right now, I also want to introduce the three of them to the man who heads the BMW operation here in India. Well, the experience has just begun now for our special winners, and now we have a special chance for them to actually interact with the man who heads BMW India, Dr. Andreas Schaff. Of course, not a stranger to us, we know you well, but I would like to introduce you to our three lucky winners. So you got Arjun was coming from Bangalore, you got Viraj and Krunal both from Mumbai.
Krunal, same here. We've been seeing you on the television.
Yeah, so you know who he is, right?
Yes.
And you know what? And you know what he's responsible for as well.
Definitely, an awesome pick.
Yeah, so feel free to ask him whatever you might want to get off
What
your
made
chest.
you, choose a red and black combination out here?
I think the red is, I mean, this is the sports line, and for BMW this is a pretty new approach. We never had a line strategy in the 3 Series. It's the first time that we introduced lines in the 3 Series. And this is the sport line and this is the luxury line. And I think when it comes to a sport line, first choice has to be a red car. Yeah, and if you have also, I guess you have realized that also the interior, there's this subtle red line in the interior, which really underlines the sportiness of the car. And I think it's a stunning color and makes the look the car even more aggressive, I would say.
Oh yeah.
And especially the headlamp treatment.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And I've been driving 3 Series, the previous version. It's a very good car.
Yeah.
But this one, looking at this one, especially in red, is absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
So congratulations to you,
Thank
and
you.
I'm sure this car is great. I can't wait to get my hands on this.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
I'm sure it's going to be
Soon.
soon.
Yeah.
The
Soon.
driving
That's the
is
way.
phenomenal. The driving is phenomenal. It has
Yes, I can vouch for that
yeah,
now.
Yeah, you have
can.
driven the car, so it's a
Yeah.
phenomenal.
And I know the other thing that they'll want to know, our viewers will also want to know, what happens from here till the end of the year. I know you're going to have lots of product action for us.
Yeah, I think the 3 Series launch for us is the most important launch of this year. The 3 Series counts for almost 30% of our total sales, so it's a very, very important car for us. It is also to some extent, I think, the backbone of the company. It's where the whole success story of BMW has started back in with the 2002 and then the first 3 Series in the 70s. So it is a very emotional car for BMW. So 3 Series is very important for us. The year of 3 Series, but we have a lot of other projects to come up till end of the year, and it will be a whole firework of new product highlights till end of the year. Gonna have the 6 Series 4-door coupe, which is a car to die for. Was like one of the most beautiful cars that BMW has ever designed, I think. Yeah, it's an unbelievable beautiful car. So a lot of people will get crazy about the car, and it helps us again for the image and see really who is the design. I mean, the design language of BMW. And then we have the 7 Series, we have the X1, we have the X6. So there's a lot of product highlights till end of the year.
So exciting second half.
Very exciting second half, and on top of that, next to the products, we also have a lot of dealer openings, which is also very important for us and very exciting. So we're bringing step by step, we're bringing BMW in regions where we have not been presented before. So for instance, Lucknow, Raipur, Nagpur, all those places we are about to open up 4S facilities of huge size, and